Sadashiva Samarambam Sankacharya Madhyamam Asmaracharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Pranavanandam. Oh Lord Shiva, you Adi Deva, you are the original God, meaning that you don't have a mother and father. You never took birth, and so you cannot die. And our Swami Pranavanandaji is a descent from you, an ancestor. And you manifest yourself. Out of you came the 5 elements, and the universe came into existence, and you went into it as consciousness, the efficient cause, and you give it life. You came again as Adi Shankaracharya, and you've come again as our very own Swami Pranavanandaji Maharaj. That we adore this evening. Well, it's Christmas coming on tomorrow, and it's a very powerful holiday, and let us make preparations for that day. Let us set our minds so powerful. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Namo Namah, Namo Namah, Namo Namah, Namo Namah, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Prabhu Namo Namah. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Tumhi Brahma Vishnu, Tumhi Maheshwara, Devadi Deva Mahadevaya Namah. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Tumi Harihara, He Trishuladhari, Tumi Bholanatha Prabhu Krishna Murari. Nitina Varupesa Pranavananda, Esho Hridhay Mochirvananda. Nayana Varira Dekhi Rupa Rupa, Dhyan Magana Guru Devaya Namah. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. When we show adorations to the Guru of our choice, for us, the Bharat Sevashram again, Swami Pranavanandaji. Devotees, I was mentioning Christmas is tomorrow. I'm doing this program. Now it's Friday night here in Jamaica, Queens, around 8 p.m. And when we wake up tomorrow morning, there will be one of the most major celebrations all over the world, Christmas. In most countries, it's a holiday. And not only Hindus, not only Christians would be celebrating this day, but all others, maybe with not the same strength of our Christian brothers and sisters, because that's their Lord. But it's a time to be happy and having good thoughts and thinking of our Lord, or our gods and goddesses. You know, growing up in Guyana, under the British rule then, British Guyana, we would have attended Catholic school because that's what was available under the British rule. And one of the studies that I would have done is the Bible. And because that's the religious knowledge that was taught. Yes, there were Hindus and mostly Hindus in that school. And we were allowed to do Hindu prayers and all of that. But every morning and afternoon we'll say that prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And when I would have written that exam, studying the Bible, you gain a love for the Christ. And let me make the statement, and it's so important to make it. There's this word that is coined these days, SBNR, spiritual but not religious. What it means is that you look at all religions, the credible religions, as the same. Yes, growing up, I can remember learning, going to the places of worship, and we would have chanted all mantras, and we still chant them, and we worship deities, we still do them. But becoming a sannyas, you transition into the state where you become spiritual. Our Swami Pranavanandaji, when he would have said, what is the goal of life? Self-realization, universal emancipation. And when he would have said, what is religion? Self-sacrifice, self-abnegation, self-discipline, adherence to truth and countenance. That description that he gave of religion is so powerful because it's unique of all religions. That every religion, being at the United Nations, for example, all religions, they want to serve the world. Not just their own people, as like Hindus would not just restrict themselves to Hindus or our Muslim brothers and sisters, to Muslim families, or Christian brothers and sisters. They wouldn't reserve their service to just Christian followers, but everyone who needs the help. And Swami Pranavanandaji is very keen on that. So when you serve all, and through the blessings of the Guru, you transcend religion, you become the books, and what is written there, you follow them, you think about them, you speak about them, and you act it out like in Hinduism. And this way, you become spiritual but not necessarily religious. Because the young generation these days, you see many people in all religions, they're not as going to the churches and masjid and mandirs and ashrams and so like they used to be in previous years. Why? Because everything is in the internet, and you want to find out. And most of the internet speakers, inspirational speakers, they're from different religions, and they tell you about how to be in a direct relationship with God. And there was this great debate where the householder was debating the sannyas. And in India, Madan Mishra and Bhakti Devi, and debating Adi Shankaracharya, incarnation of Lord Shiva, and which of this is greater. But the householder life is to serve society, family life, and the sannyas is to also serve society, but that is just a means to be in direct relationship with God. All the time he's thinking gyan, knowledge of God. So when we think about always we want to be in a relationship with God, that is spirituality, because it's aided by meditation. After you do a day's work of serving society, selfless service to humanity, service to God, the motto Bharat, Sevashram, Sangha. When you do that, then you get a purified mind. What do you do with a purified mind? You have to really take it to meditate, and you become one with God, God-like. what happens? You go beyond the body, mind, intellect, and ego. What it means, you realize that you go beyond God in his lower nature, all of creation. In other words, God created this universe with the five elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. God give us these, made us and give us the five senses: seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, and tasting. So coming from these objects, the created objects, earth, water, fire, air, these five senses: eyes, ears, nose, the taste in the mouth, and the smell and skin. These are all the organs that receive this information from the outside, and they send it to our brain, and then what happened? That's our mind. But we have this other item that we just don't react to the environment by the senses. There's another organ that responds after due deliberation to find out what is right and wrong, is the intellect. So this is the lower nature of God. So this evening, when we talk about the Christ, he came as from immaculate conception, like a miraculous act. And we've seen that Swami Pranavananji has come in the same way too, although he would have come through mother. But the whole his birth is considered miraculous, meaning the father and the mother, the father wasn't part of it, as you may want to say. Anyway, these are all things that can be a little distracting, but the Christ came as such. And throughout his time, he would have just shown the world how to live. And that's why the Christ is so great. It is said that when he came, his presence alone would nullify the negativism of 700 million people, just like Krishna, that caliber of Lord Krishna. And the Buddha also, when he got enlightenment, his presence would have attracted so many and nullified the negative energies of so many hundreds of millions. So when we talk about these great spiritual masters, they are really, what they authored have become religion. For example, Lord Krishna came, and we have the Bhagavad Gita. Swami Pranavananji came, and his utterances is the Sangha Gita and 10 divine messages. And so the Buddha, Tripitaka, he came and gave us these teachings. So this tomorrow being Christmas, we are worshipping that God. Yes, we have in Hinduism, but we worshiping God in the spiritual form. In other words, Christ would have said, talks about the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. In our concept in Hinduism is consciousness. Satchidanand, truth, consciousness, and bliss. It's the same thing. And then these three words, I like to read something that I was able to put together to really demonstrate what I'm trying to say, that who we really are. And we can do this by ourselves at any point in time. So we want to chant the word Om 3 times, because Om is the most sacred name of God, with form and without form. So when we chant in, we bring that power of consciousness in our presence. So we'll chant Om. Om. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm not the ego. I am truth, consciousness, and bliss, Satchidanand. I'm all powerful, omnipotent. I'm all pervading, omnipresent. I know the past, present, and future, omniscient. I existed before creation as consciousness. For me, consciousness manifests itself. I entered into creation to give it life. I'm the driver in the body. This vehicle body is made up of the five elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. It is constantly changing. One day for sure I'll lose the body. I'm not the mind, as the mind is a bundle of thoughts coming from the environment through the five senses: seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, and tasting. I react to the environment through the organs of action: mouth, hands, legs, organs of reproduction, and organs of elimination. The sense organs and organs of actions are totally under my control as I navigate to rediscover that I am consciousness. I'm not the intellect, the power of dispassion and discrimination, as the intellect is influenced and hijacked by the ego. My ego falsely identifies me as I am what I have. I am what I do. I am my reputation. I'm different from you. Things are missing in my life, and I am separated from consciousness, God. I am free from the body, mind, intellect, and ego identification. I am consciousness. I am perfection. I am liberated. That we talk about it, Christ will give salvation. So too are all these religions, they credible religions. They lead us up through the rituals, through the prayers, and they take it up to the same one truth. So they're not different. And I'm heading the Committee of Religious NGOs of the United Nations. This is the theme, that the United Nations are able to bring people from all faith traditions coming and realizing that we are all one. All religions lead to the same truth, that we are gods and goddesses. So this evening, let us all make preparation for tomorrow, the Christ, the birth of the Christ, and let us celebrate it. And also, let us celebrate our gods and goddesses. For us, we're celebrating the life of Swami Pranavadanandaji. We celebrate in the life of the Buddha. We celebrate in the life of Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Bhagwan Shankara, Lord Shiva, Mother Durga, and so on. So let us do one bhajan, so this way we can ask the Guru to lead us onto the path of moksha and liberation. भाव सागर तारन कारण है, रवि नंदन वंदन कंदन है, शरणागत किंकर वीत मने, गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने, हृदय कंदर तामस भाष करो है, तुमि विष्णु प्रजापति शंकर है, पर ब्रह्म परात पर वेद बने, गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने, मन बारन शासन अंकुश है, नर त्राण तरे हरि कुश है, गुण गान परायण देव गणे, गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने, कुल कुंडलिनी घुम भंजक है, हृदय क्रांति विदारन कारक, मम मानस चंचल रात्रि दिने, मम मानस चंचल रात्रि दिने, गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने, रिपुसूदन मंगल नायक है, सुख शांति बरा भयदायक, त्रयताप हरे तब नाम गुने, गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने, अभिमान प्रभा वरिमर्दक है, गोतिहीन जने तुम्ही राक्ष कहे चित शंकित वंचित भक्ति ने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने तब नाम सदा शुभ साधक है पतिता धम मानव पावक है महिमा तब गोचर शुद्ध मने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने. We'll do the cleansing before the arati. Join me as we worship God in the best of way, glorifying Him, preparing our body, mind, and intellect and ego. Om Gange Cha Yamune Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmada Sindhu Kaveri Jale Asmin Snanidhim Kuru. Om Kurukshetra Gaya Ganga Prabhasa Pushkarani Cha Tirtanyatani Punyani Kale Bhavan. Om Amrito Pastar Namasi Swaha. Amrita Pidha Namasi Swaha. Om Satyam Yashasrimayi Sratam Swaha. Om Shanno Devi Ravishtaya Apo Bhavanta Pitaye Shanno Ravi Sravantunam. Om Vak Om Prana Pranam Chakshu Chakshu. Om Srotram Srotram. Om Nabhi Om Hridayam Om Kantaham Siraha. Om Bahobhyam Yeshubalam. Om Karatala Karaprishti. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Sahasra Shirisha Purusha Sahasrakshu Sahasrapat Sabhumin Sarvato Sritva Atyatishta Dashangulam. Om Sarvatah Pani Param Tat Sarvato Akshi Shiro Mukam Sarvatah Sroti Maloke Sarvamavritya Tishtate. Om Jyoti Shama Pita Jyoti Tamasaha Paramuchate. Jnanam Gayam Jnanagamyam Riddhi Sarvasya Vishtikam. Om Gati Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivashaho Sharanam Sure. Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam Nidhanam Bijam Abhayam. Om Tvamadi Deva Purusha Puranam Tvamasya Visvasya Param Nidhanam. Tvamabhayo Swasvato Dharma Gupta Sanatanastvam Purusho Matome. Om Pitasi Lokasya Characharasya Tvamasya Pujasya Garur Garyam. Na Tvatsamo Asti Abhyadika Kuto Anyo Lokatraye Apiya Pratimam Prabhavom. Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om. Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om. 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 Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om, Karo Jaya Guru Om, 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 Karo Jaya Shiva Om, Om, Karo Jaya Guru Om, Karo Jaya Shiva Om, Karo Jaya Guru Om, Karo Jaya Shiva Om, Karo Jaya Guru Om, Karo Jaya Shiva Om, Om Karo Jaya Guru Om, Karo Jaya Shiva Om, Om Karo Jaya Guru Om, Karo Jaya Shiva Om, 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 Om Karo Jaya Guru Om, Karo Jaya Shiva Om, Karo Jaya Guru Om, Karo Jaya Shiva Om, Karo Jaya Guru Om, Karo Jaya Shiva Om. Well, with time for prayer, we've said a lot. We did worship of the Lord, whoever that Lord is. Now keep that Lord in the mind, and for Christmas, let us keep foremost Christ in our mind, because He's no other than that manifestation of that consciousness. His leela, his drama, his play was so great that in the end he was, he was put on the cross, but he came for a purpose, and he didn't mind that, because he came for that purpose, to lift humanity. Let us also be lifted in this time. With this prayer, let adorations to the Guru. Om Jnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Om Mantra Satyam Puja Satyam Satyam Deva Niranjana Gurur Vakyam Sada Satyam Satyameva Paramam Param. Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatparam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Om Pitri Matri Surira Bandhu Vidyatirtani Devata Natulyam Guruna Sevam Sparshayet Paramam Param. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Deva Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Om Dhyanamoolam Gururmurti Pujamulam Guru Param Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamulam Guru Kripa Om Brahmanandam Paramasukaram Kevalam Dhyanamurtim Dantwatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadhilaksham Om Ekam Nityam Bhimalam Chalam Sarvara Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatidam Trigunarahitam Satgurum Tam Namami Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Guru Kripahi Kevalam Guru Kripahi Kevalam. Only through the grace of the Guru and our human effort can we get to that place where we have salvation. We become Christ-like, we become Buddha-like, we become Christian-like, we love Shiva-like, and God-like. And we would have gone beyond religion. And what happens now? We're spiritual. We become the books. So today, let us all think that is the possibility, that's the capability, and let us all go to that path. So nice to have you, and a Merry, Merry Christmas. May you enjoy and have a good balance. Enjoy, but at the same time, always have God in your mind. Hari Om. Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om.